Aymee Coget, PhD, calls herself a happiness expert.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. We have an especially happy show for you today.
That's right, Olivia. Happiness is a hotter topic than ever these days, and I'm going to introduce you to someone who's doing happiness makeovers.
The New York Times calls my next guest the Susie Orman of happiness. She's a psychologist who studies the science of joy. Welcome, Dr. Aymee Coget.
Thank you. Everything boils down to what?
Happiness.
Yeah. Why do you want more money? To make you happy. Why do you want better sex? To make you happy. Why do you want more friends? To make you happy. It all boils down to this. Happiness is within your control. Most people define happiness prior to happiness science as something external to themselves.
This past Saturday, a crowd celebrated International Happiness Day. They are members of a growing movement, an industry replete with research, books, and college courses that believes happiness is a science that can be taught. Dr. Coget says that kind of happiness, called hedonic, is fleeting. She teaches her clients that true happiness is deeper than that. And she gives them tools on how to keep happy, even when the inevitable tragedies happen. Happiness for the rest of your life? An entire movement is now giving it a shot.
People generally are searching for happiness on the hedonic treadmill, getting the next thing that makes them happy through a person, place, thing, or circumstance. Where, in fact, if you do get all the right people, places, things, and circumstances in your life that are going to make you happy, you will become unhappy within 3 months. Science just proved that in 2006. Unless, of course, you win the lottery, then it's 6 to 12 months. For the most part, people are interested in sustaining that happiness, except nobody knows how. And fortunately, we've made some amazing advances in the area of happiness through scientific research, where we can actually say, if you do A, B, and C, you will become sustainably happy. It's easy to throw happiness into the wacky category. It's easy to forget about happiness and not give it the seriousness it requires. I'd like for everyone to start taking happiness really serious, bringing your happiness into your own hands and no longer waiting for the right person, place, thing, or circumstance. And making that happiness decision is an empowering decision. It's actually the most important decision of anyone's life.
The happiness decision is only the first of Aymee's 5 steps for sustainable happiness. The second one involves happiness boosters, including one to start the day. Aymee's other steps for sustainable happiness include strategies for combating happiness challenges, fostering deep inner contentment, and building a positive faith to deal with negativity and fear. Aymee says happiness is a powerful force for achieving optimum health.
It adds 7 years to your life, for one. Secondly, happy people have better health in general. They recover from illness quicker, they recover from surgeries quicker. And in the work environment, happy people get promoted more often, they make more money, they have better relationships, longer marriages.
The first step is empowerment. The second step is positive mood. The third step is resiliency. Fourth step, contentment. And fifth step is bliss. Once you have mastered this, you have achieved sustainable happiness. So what happens is that first we become empowered over our own emotional state. We create a positive mood whenever we want. We choose to be resilient when we're faced with adversity. We continue to develop deep inner contentment no matter what. And this spearheads us into states of bliss, but we can also achieve states of bliss if we have positive mood boosters first. And so this is how you develop your sustainable happiness. So what happens when you're happy in your office? Well, you have better customer service, better innovation, more creativity, job satisfaction goes up, you collaborate better, you're more productive, you perform better, and sales increase. All with happiness. What goes down? Stress, absenteeism, depression, disability, and healthcare costs. Sound worth it? Is this the magic cure or what?
What can you do? What can you tell us to give us some guidelines on how to move from point A to point B, where you can begin to feel, joy in your heart again?
The very first step that anyone can take is acceptance of the current situation. Now, without this acceptance, you're just sitting there thinking about all of your problems. The next step is to live in the moment. So more than likely, that terrible circumstance happened in the past. And so we have to move forward at some point. And it turns out that a recent Harvard study actually showed that 47% of people are thinking about something other than what they're doing in the moment.
Yes. Smiling is really good. You know, laughing, smiling, even like sometimes they say act the way you want to be, and eventually you'll start to feel that way.
The next step really needs to be based in realistic optimism. Now, optimism sometimes gets a bad rap, thinking that people are Pollyannas or they're not thinking seriously about the situation. So approaching any adversity with realistic optimism is key, because you can't absolutely be pessimistic because you're never going to overcome the challenge.
Right.
Nor can you be blindly optimistic either. So realistic optimism is about approaching the situation with a positive outlook, yet having a plan to achieve the goal.
Great advice. Thank you, Dr. Coget. Really, I really appreciate you coming on the show so much, because you put what this whole show is about into context. Thank you, really.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Dr. Aymee is one of the biggest experts on happiness that I can possibly think of. And she has learned how to coach people who are pretty grumpy to be happy in just like 3 months. It's really kind of a miracle.
How can I describe Aymee? Well, she is joy. She is spontaneity. She is happiness. She is generosity. She is goodness and spirit. She is somebody who has massively changed my life by opening up my heart and my mind to the potentials for happiness and joy. She is just an incredible and phenomenal leader and mentor. And she is a light in a world of darkness. She is a light that the world needs. She can make a huge difference.
I want to thank Dr. Aymee for always being so positive and always having so many great strategies for continuing happiness and well-being in our everyday lives, because I think it's really good work that she's doing, and we're glad to have her in this world.
Aymee is a wonderful, amazing, dynamic person who actually helped me get out of a very, very dark time where I was very sick in my life. And I was living in a bed in my 20s, and she kind of pulled me out of this dark hole by working with me 2 times a week and always being on call for me. She's an incredible friend. She has been there for me at almost every emergency room visit, and now I'm living life completely healthy again. She really understands deep down your soul, your potential, and the power of positive thinking and positive psychology. I love her and can't say enough good things about her.